Good morning. What's happening, guys? Happy Sunday. How we doing today? Krista Holland on YouTube. Kevin Hawthorne. Good to see you guys. Yeah, got a rainy day here. Well, that'll be fun moving all of our stuff out of the truck. What's happening? Yeah, hope you're having a great weekend and woke up to a great Sunday. We are getting charged up with a good sized breakfast, ready to empty a 26-foot box truck with the rest of our stuff. I have no idea how we had that much stuff in a condo. Looking around going, that's not going to fit, but we'll get it. A lot of it's furniture, and then the rest of it is stuff for the gym in the basement. So some big, awkward, janky things to unload today. Good morning, Kaylin Newton. Good to see you over there on Instagram. What's happening, Lee Frisbee? Dad, how are you? Good morning. Yeah. Thanks to my brother Rick, we got the truck loaded yesterday in short order. And, well, hey, Rick and Sherry got me on the TV. Well, good timing. Thanks for the help, brother. Yeah, we were sufficiently trashed. We got back yesterday. I didn't even open the door. And the dogs are wondering where their shaved steak and roast beef and all that stuff is. And Tuck's looking at me like, Rick starts the day throwing the ball for us. Good morning, Premier Pawns. What's happening? Luke McGee, how are you? Good to see you. Wendy's over there watching us on Instagram, taking a different vantage point this morning, I guess. Yeah. Whew. So, yeah, we got to get geared up, waiting for the rain to stop. Today will involve the tractor. So we have a treadmill that takes a good few people to move, and we got a good 2 people and a tractor. So we'll figure it out. Another 11 stall mats to install downstairs for the gym floor. Yeah. Bill Gustafson, where are you today, Bill? It's been an exciting few days tracking you around the world. Krista Holland's back over here on Facebook. Good to see you guys. And welcome to Live 365. Yesterday, talked a little bit about not making that customer experience the customer's responsibility. And I just kind of riffed a little bit at the back of the Jeep while we were in the middle of loading the truck. So a little bit of a diversion from my everyday super high level preparedness. Bill, you got to send names I can pronounce, okay? Bill's in. I don't even want to try that one. Bill's in Germany. Good to see you. Thanks for being on. Pat Johnston, good to see you, brother. We moved we finally got hold of your coffee pot. What do you call that thing? Percolator that you sent me. As you all might expect, it is completely orange. So I'm going to make a pot in that. Probably later today, I think I'll do that. So, yeah, we're getting so we can use some of our stuff again. I'm like, oh, I didn't know we had that. It's like Christmas over here. Shoot, we haven't seen any of our stuff for 6 months other than the same 3 or 4 T-shirts. All of our clothes have paint on them or are ruined. And we are wrapping up the remodel. Morning, Matt Moore. Good to see you, Bob. Coming in from New Hampshire. Yes. Good morning, sunshine, says Wendy. Yeah, we're going to get a break in the weather, I think. It's this Katahdin Valley weather system. So we'll get so we can move a few things. And if not, we'll just, keep the truck. Oh, yeah. Hey, I wanted to start a new series, okay? Well, first of all, if you guys don't know me, if you're watching it on the Rewind, I'm Bob Turner. I always try to say that lately because sometimes people don't know. It's the first time watching them. Like, who's this clown? I'm Bailey's dad, and I'm Wendy's husband. And I focus on trying to help people just get a little bit better every day while trying to walk the walk myself. Show up here every morning at 8 a.m. without fail. And I have done so for about 605 or 6 mornings in a row now. And I just believe that we're in charge of our own circumstances, okay? Stop waiting for somebody to save us. And I think there's power in community. So I try to bring people together And today we're starting something new. I typically do 10-day series on things. Yeah, what do you know you don't know, Bob Turner? So for the next 10 days, we're going to talk about leadership, but maybe not the leadership the way that you're used to hearing about it, okay? I want to talk about being a leader that people would follow, being a leader that you would follow, okay? So that's the title of today's, the leader you'd follow. The official name of the series is 10 Days to Becoming the Kind of Leader People Want to Follow, okay? So that's kind of the theme, the spirit of the next several days. Good morning, Andrea Gooch. How are you? Good to see you. Ask yourself this, like, what's it like to be led by you? And you guys are all leading someone, right? If not, you're leading yourself, okay? Yeah, what's it like to be led by you? Not like, are you successful? Not how much revenue does your company do? Okay. Not how many employees do you have, or how many years you've been in business, or not even do you care about your people. I'm asking what it's like to actually be led by you. Okay. Because there's a huge difference between our intentions as leaders and someone else's experience of our leadership. Okay. So think about that for a minute. Like, you might intend to be helpful. People might experience you as controlling. You might intend to hold people accountable, but they might just experience just unpredictability. Or you might think you're giving people freedom. They might just experience it as lack of direction. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what to do. Okay. You might think, hey, they know I appreciate them. Do they, though? You might think they know what I expect. You'd think this and you'd think that, right? But do they? Do they know what you expect? Have you set the expectation? You might think, well, they can come talk to me. I've got an open door, right? Can they really, though? So that's what's going on for the next 10 days. Not just how do I become a better boss, but how do I become the person I would want to follow, okay? Just a quick question in the morning here, Sunday morning. Like, if you worked for you, would you follow you? Okay. Would you trust you? Would you bring problems to you or tell you the truth? Would you admit that you screwed something up? Would you feel comfortable disagreeing with you? Okay. Would you know what mattered most? Would you know whether you were doing a good job? Or would you feel like you were growing? Here's the big one, maybe the biggest. Would you want to stay? Would you want to stay working for you? Okay. That's a pretty different leadership assessment. Okay. Because most of us evaluate our leadership from this side of the desk. Okay. Because we know what we're trying to do. We know how much pressure we're under. We know how much we care. We know how much money we're risking, and we know about the customer who's pissed off, and we know about the job that's going sideways and all the stuff. We know about the cash flow problems maybe we haven't shared with people, right? And because we know our intentions, we give ourselves credit for them, okay? But the people around us don't live inside of our intentions, okay? They just experience our behavior, kind of like parenting, right? And then the kids are just left to interpret it however they want, however they see fit. Intent doesn't erase impact. Intent doesn't erase impact, okay? Now, I'll see a business owner, I'll see it all the time in coaching. Hey, Bob, I'd do anything for these guys. I believe you. I care about them. I believe you, okay? I've given them every opportunity. Maybe you have, okay? But none of those answers tell me exactly what it's actually like to work for you, okay? That's the uncomfortable part. You can be a really good person and still be difficult to work for. You can care deeply and communicate poorly. You can have great intentions and just create complete chaos and confusion. You can want people to succeed and still not give them the room to do so. You can believe you hold people accountable, but when you're really just reacting emotionally when something finally pisses you off enough to say something about it. Okay, so intent matters. But leadership is experienced through behavior. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it. Um, how about the parking lot test? Like, hey, let's say I rolled in. Say I rolled tomorrow's Monday. I'm gonna roll into the parking lot, right? And you're not there. So you're the leader. You're not there. And I gathered your team together. Okay. And I said, hey, what's it like to work for Krista or Joe or Bill or Sarah, whomever, right? Whoever. And I promise everybody, hey, your boss is not going to know what I said. Okay. What are the things that I would hear? What would they say? Well, I always know where I stand with Bob. He challenged me, but I know he has my back. Or she listens. He gives me room to figure things out. She does what she says she's going to do. Okay. He makes me better. Or would I hear people kind of look this way and that and say, well, it depends on what kind of mood he's in. Okay. Or, well, we usually don't know until he's pissed off. Okay. It's easier just to ask him because he's going to redo it anyway. Or would I hear like, nobody really knows who's responsible for what? Yeah, I stopped bringing ideas to him because they never go anywhere. Yeah, you just kind of learn how to stay out of the way. Ouch, right? Here's the thing, though, guys. You can't improve a version of yourself you're unwilling to see. Okay? Leadership requires a mirror. Sometimes the mirror sucks. Okay? Because eventually you have to stop asking, man, what's wrong with my people? How come I've lost so many people? How come I go through so many people? Why do people leave? You have to ask yourself this: what am I contributing to this? Okay, that's not saying every employee problem is your fault. Of course, it's 100% not, right? Sometimes you hired the wrong person. Sometimes someone you thought was capable and they're not. Sometimes the person isn't willing. Okay, sometimes people need to go. But if the same problems keep happening with different people, I'd start looking for the common denominator, right? And it's probably looking right back at you from that mirror, okay? Sometimes the common denominator is us. That's leadership. Not beating yourself up, not blaming yourself for everything, okay? Just having enough courage to ask, what part of this belongs to me? And then just doing something about it, okay? Because your team's always learning, right? They study you. They know which version of you they're getting. They know what happens when there's bad news. Okay? They know which subjects to avoid. They know whether you'll listen or when you're going to interrupt. And they know whether you'll take the problem back and just solve it yourself. Yeah. They know whether today's priority will still be the priority tomorrow. Okay? They know whether they're going to get coached or be subject to some sort of public scrutiny. Like, they know whether your words mean anything. They may never have formally been taught by you anything, right? But they learned it anyway. Because people adapt to leadership. If bringing you problems gets them screamed at, they just stop bringing problems. If taking an initiative gets their work redone anyway, they just gonna stop bringing it to you. They're gonna stop showing you what they did. If telling you the truth creates drama, they start telling you what you want to hear. And then the one day the leader goes, why doesn't anybody take any ownership around here? Right? Yeah, maybe that's worth looking at. People don't leave bad companies. They leave bad leaders. Okay? It's not about being liked, guys. I want to make that really clear. This whole series is not about like, hey, how can I make everybody like me as a leader, right? Be everybody's favorite boss. Impossible. Okay? It's not a popularity contest. Sometimes leadership means somebody's going to be disappointed. Sometimes you have to say no. Sometimes you have to challenge someone. Sometimes you have to tell someone their work is not good enough. Okay? Sometimes you got to make a decision people don't understand yet. And sometimes you have to part ways. Being someone people want to follow doesn't mean making everybody happy. It means becoming someone that people can trust. Someone who is clear and consistent, someone who listens, someone who has the difficult conversations, someone who takes responsibility, someone who challenges people to become better, okay? And someone who's willing to look in that mirror before automatically pointing the finger across the room, okay? So today's challenge for you guys, here's what I would love for you to do today. Just ask yourself this: if I worked for me, would I follow me? If I worked for me, would I follow me? Okay? And don't answer too quickly. Think about the last 30 days, okay? How have you responded under pressure? Good morning, Rachel. What conversations have you avoided? Like, where have you been unclear, or where have you even micromanaged? Where have you taken something back because it was just easier for you to do yourself? And where have you allowed frustration to build instead of addressing something early? Like, hey, we got to handle this right now. Hey, we need to have a discussion about that. Like, who have you recognized and who have you developed? Who knows exactly where they stand with you? And then ask one more question, okay? What is one thing I could change that would make me easier to trust and stronger to follow? Just one thing. Maybe it's not. I'm not going to repeat things around the office. I'm not going to vent to one employee about another. I'm not going to go high order on anything. I'm going to stay calm. I'm going to stay even keeled. Guys, over the next 10 days, next 9 days now, we're going deeper. I guess Tuck is I don't know if you can hear the dog bark, but he's decided he's going to play security guard. Yeah, they're settling in too. Guys, over the next 9 days, we're going to go deeper. We're going to talk about the energy you bring into the room. We're going to talk about clarity, about leading through chaos. Maybe I'm going to try to bring out some of the conversations that you've been avoiding. Okay. I'm just guessing. Okay. I'm going to talk about why you can't always be the answer. Okay. Feedback and accountability. We're going to talk about demanding excellence while still caring about people and challenging them. Okay. Ultimately, we're going to talk about building people who can lead without you. I think that's the mark of a great leader. However, none of it matters if you're not willing to start right here on day one, asking yourself, would you follow you? Would you follow you? It starts with somebody becoming someone worth following, okay? So, guys, that was day one, all right? Becoming the leader that you would follow, okay? And I don't want this next 10 days to be just content you consume, okay? Use it as a mirror. Take one thing each morning and look at your own leadership. I don't have all the answers, and I've made a lot of the mistakes that I'm going to talk about, okay? But we can spend our entire lives wishing our employees were better, our organizations were stronger, people around us would change, just figure it out, right? You'd think they would know. Or we can ask, what can I do today to become a better leader for the people I've already got? It takes a lot to hire somebody. It's expensive. Work with the people that you have, okay? That's where the work begins, all right? I love you guys. I appreciate you being here. Thanks for watching it on the rewind. Please share this out. Somebody in your world needs to hear this today, okay? And reach out to somebody who just needs to hear from you today. Say nothing about the Live 365, right? Just tell somebody you appreciate them, you encourage them, tell them you love them, challenge them, whatever it is. Tell them you see them. I see what you're doing over there. Don't assume they know, okay? Take care of your people, guys. Take care of your business. Take care of yourselves. You're welcome, Krista. Thanks for being here. Good to see all you guys. You guys that are watching on the rewind, I appreciate you. Pop a fist bump in the chat or a RP or a replay or something like that. You guys that were here, share it out if you would, okay? Tomorrow's day 2. We're going to talk about the fact that your energy enters the room before your words do. Ooh, that one's going to get you. All right, guys, I got a truck to unload. Ooh, and it's raining really hard. Hey, what was that last series about? Oh, yeah, staying relentless. All right, guys, have a fantastic day. If there's anything I can do for you, reach out to me and we'll get together. Talk soon. Take care.